Everyone. This video is a message of hope and reassurance for anybody needing it at the moment, which I feel is quite a lot of us. So we're between eclipses at the moment, and this 2-week time has been all over the place, really. I feel like it's gone from being hazy and murky and tiring to lately in the last few days just being irritating. And do remember Mercury is still retrograde as well. So, lots of irritating things happen during that time. Everybody's mental health is suffering one way or another at the moment. And two symbolic things I've got in the past few days. First one was looking at a cloud that looked like a mushroom cloud. Now, when I think of mushroom cloud, I think of the atomic bombs that ended World War II. So it's almost like a message of the shock and horror of what humans could do to other humans, even during times of war, ended the war. Now, I know there's a lot more to it than that, but that was the message I was getting. The horror and the inhumaneness of what people could do to each other, it was just couldn't be ignored anymore, and very quickly ended the war. And we are in a war of sorts at the moment. And the second thing was I saw a cockroach just run in front of me in the park. And it made a link to that mushroom cloud idea, because they say cockroaches can survive anything. Cockroaches can survive the nuclear fallout. And so can we. So can you. Thinking back to my other videos, Pendulum told me June was normal. And I'm looking around me and thinking, where's normal? It's still not normal. So I went back to it to clarify. And the message I got was the second week of June is the big change, which we're going into at the moment. So I was thinking, okay, Monday, 7th of June. And I tried again, but it said towards the end of the week. So it does make sense considering all the astrology going on this week. We've got the new moon eclipse on the 10th. We've got Uranus square Saturn, the 2nd, on the 14th. So I'm looking at next weekend, the 12th and the 13th. What big mushroom cloud, and I'm not saying something horrible is going to happen, but something decisive that really shifts things to change on 3D level. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. Okay, what else have we got? There's a huge supermoon coming up. I'm not looking ahead that far yet. I'm more focused on the new moon eclipse this week. But the full moon, I think it's around the 26th of June. I was at the seaside yesterday and looking at a chart of the tide times. It's the third supermoon in a row, third and final one. And the tides are huge. Like, they had high tide on this poster in red. It was something like 6.9 meters, which is well above average. So that's really interesting too. And the way I think about that at the end of June is that it's going to be like a huge wave of relief, right? Shining a light on what's coming up and what's being brought up this week. Sort of the emotional response to that, but it's positive. It's a feeling of relief. So that's good. The other thing is that, there's so much big astrology happening in June. The next wave of big stuff is not till December. So this must be bringing in change, okay? All this big astrology, eclipses, with the retrograde, with Uranus square Saturn, with the supermoon, this doesn't all happen for nothing to change. This doesn't all happen in June for things to then just carry on for the next 6 months the way they've been. Things in December might link back to this time or be part of the fallout of this time, but it's all changing now. So it's exciting as well. Right. The cards I've got. Now, I keep pulling the same ones. Now, I don't normally pull so frequently, but the same cards keep coming up with just a few extras to clarify, which is really interesting. So these first 3 cards here are not new. 10 of Wands here is end of a long, tiring journey, which I've spoken about before, which we've all been on individually and collectively over the last 18 months. We're at the end, but if you're just stuck in that card, without looking up. Look, his head's down. He's just trying to he's really near the end, get into the village, put the sticks down. If you're just stuck in that and don't know that things are going to get better after, it's pretty awful and just tiring and hopeless. So that's kind of the current energy. This Two of Cups, I think, is representing this new moon eclipse. Two of Cups, the sun and the moon. So that's the eclipse time. That is this week. That is the 10th of June. So this 10 of Wands is that feeling, and that kind of action is coming to an end with this eclipse. Just other things that can be represented by the Two of Cups. Some sort of agreement, can be a new love relationship. But I think in this case, it's pointing more at us as humans supporting each other and filling each other's cups. We're social beings. People are going to cope with what comes out this week differently. Ask for help if you need it, and be the one giving help if you're in a position to do that. That's really the message I'm getting there. Then we've got our old friend who keeps coming up, the Seven of Swords reversed. So the untruths and the deceptions, whatever they may be, in your individual life, your wider circle, and the big social picture, the big world story, are being exposed and uncovered. And then remember last video I kept talking about justice. I said no major arcana had come out, but I'm feeling the justice card really strongly. Next we get two major arcanas. So this is kind of the fallout, what's being brought up by the eclipse. Justice will be done. Truth, freedom, justice, love. Now when we talk about justice, there's like legal law that we have in society, and also natural law, karmic natural law. Both win. They win big time. And the eclipse is pushing us into that. And then we've got the sun, which is a happy, positive, joyful outcome to whatever the current predicament is. So these two outcome cards, justice and the sun, it doesn't get much better than that. All right. So there is our hope and reassurance. What else? I thought this represents the summer. I mean, we're in summer now in the Northern Hemisphere. Two of Cups here is our new moon eclipse, but the justice and the sun, summer is good. Rest of the summer is good. So very exciting stuff being stirred up and brought up to be concluded this week. Right. What else have I got? Oh, crystal I pulled. I've got my nice rose quartz here, but the main one I pulled for supporting people at the moment is aquamarine. And the message of that is, as much as possible, don't stay cool and calm. Don't get too angry or frustrated. Rise above the situation you're in and try and look down on it like an overview. And then you see everything and you understand everything without your own thoughts and emotions getting in the way. Aquamarine is also saying, and actually here it is under our Two of Cups, there's a huge amount of love and human connection coming in. Even if you'd given up on it, even if you're not feeling it, you're going to give, you're going to receive where you need to get us through this.